Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Impact Reality XR podcast. My name is Eric, and I make up 1/3 of the amazing founders of Impact Reality XR. So let me introduce to you the other two people that make up this awesome trio. From the hugely successful TikTok and YouTube channel VR with Jasmine, we have Jasmine Uniza.
Hey, everybody. I told you it was now.
But when is then now?
Now is now.
Soon. Later. And we have next the man with the biggest heart and the biggest wardrobe. From the upload correspondent and co-host of Between Realities, Skiva. What is up, man?
Hey, what's up, dude? I want to apologize to everyone because it might have been my fault while we were late. Sometimes when you start a brand new show, there are technical things that happen and things that you don't think of until you're right about to go live. But thank you all for being here. I'm so stoked to have every one of you here in chat. Absolutely love everyone that I'm seeing here in chat. So thanks for coming.
No worries,
thanks for
dude.
waiting.
No worries, dude. You were fired. Todd, you're in. Todd, if you can hear this, you're in. Come on in.
Also, who wrote this? Who wrote the script? The biggest wardrobe? That guy gotta go.
I didn't want to do like an intro like I do for Todd because that would be weird, and I have to do like something that's not my podcast, that's not your podcast, that's not Skiba's podcast.
And we're not Canadian.
All these lovely people are in a podcast, and now there's a podcast on top of a podcast, and this is a podcast exception.
Oh my God, podcast inception! I love it. This could be the best podcast of them all, though. Because we have the best parts and pieces of all those podcasts.
Can you believe that I have to work with these two every day?
Did it feel so bad for you? If I were you, I'd have quit a long time ago.
Seriously. Really.
Blink twice if you need help.
Well, we appreciate everybody being here. Thank you very much. And this is going to be a little bit different of a normal podcast. We don't want to do Between Realities. We don't want to do VR and all that jazz. We don't want to do Q2C VR Gamer. This is going to be Impact Reality XR podcast. And we're going to talk about a few different things here in this type of podcast. We're going to talk about a little bit of stuff behind the scenes of us being a VR, company and what we kind of do and some of the people we work with. And we're going to give you guys like some background, information of like how we do things and what we do. Yeah, behind the scenes. There you go. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit different, and then we're going to be able to, we'll talk about some topical things. Like today, we're going to talk a little bit about, the Upload Showcase, because the three of us got a chance to watch it together. And view it, and we'll give our thoughts about that. And then I think we want to go into a little bit about, some of the games that we're working with right now and telling you a little bit about them and the backstory of that. But I think, guys, I'm going to kind of let you take over here, Jazz, I think, first, and just kind of tell everybody that's here. I mean, a lot of people already know, like, what Impact Reality is and who we are, but maybe they don't. Maybe it's their first time in, or maybe they're just a little bit confused as to what we are, but maybe a little background about how we came together and what we do.
A little background on how we came together and what we do. Okay, sure. I think that's a big background, but obviously all of you know, all three of us in the space, we've been in the space for a while. Like I do my YouTube channel, my TikTok, and I also worked professionally in the industry before. And obviously, like Eric has his Facebook group and has like a very big Facebook group, has his 8 million podcasts now, and like does title advisor role for Andromeda. And Skiva, who doesn't? Do I have to introduce Skiva? If I have to introduce Skiva to you, I don't know if you've been around the space long enough, but I guess I'll do it. 2 times VR Awards finalist. What? Wow. For Between Realities podcast. Come on.
The godfather of VR.
Upload correspondent, Vertigo, and
X Vertigo.
I know. I was going to say Vertigo and Springboard. Previous employee person. So obviously, between the three of us, we've been doing a lot in the space, and even me before joining co-founding Impact Reality, I was also doing a lot of like marketing and mostly marketing work for a bunch of different VR games. And for a long time, the three of us have been friends. And we've just been talking about all the things we're doing in the space and all the things that we would want to see in this space. Like obviously all of us really care about growing the VR industry. And so eventually, after all chatting, Skiva was the one who said, wait a minute, hey, hang on everybody. So you're doing stuff for different things in the VR industry, and you're doing stuff for the different things in the VR industry, and so eventually we came up with this idea that maybe we should do something. And at the beginning, we didn't really know what we were going to do. We were kind of all over the place, and it's kind of just grown from there.
Yeah, it has. And Skiva, I mean, I think we have to give you the props for this, because this was really your idea. Like, literally, you came to both me and Jasmine and were like, I have an idea. It might be crazy.
Avengers assemble.
I got my shield. I'm ready.
No, you know,
Honestly,
like
it feels that way, right?
I
Because
feel
sometimes
like-
we just keep growing with all the VR people, so it feels like Avengers are assembling for sure.
yeah, for real. I mean, that's kind of how I thought of it. We were all doing stuff. We were all kind of doing stuff on our own, and like I was, you know, trying to help, you know, certain companies grow, like for example, Vertigo and their arcades department, and After the Fall. But I really wanted, like, it's one thing to help one studio grow, but I really want to help all of VR grow, because one studio isn't gonna make VR succeed. Everyone has to succeed, right? We need all of these different games. We need all of these different headsets and all of the efforts from all of these different places to be in the spotlight instead of just one place. So I personally wanted a way to grow all of it. I wasn't happy with just one. Give me all or give me nothing. And you know, I looked around the space and saw some of the most powerful people that I've seen here, just being like getting out there and going and getting it. You know what I mean? Great networks, great shows, good information and knowledge. And I was like, man, we gotta do stuff, because VR is not just going to grow itself. It's not a plant. You know, it's going to take people and a lot of effort and a lot of passion. So here we are, trying to do.
Passionate, I'll tell you that.
What we're doing.
Very passionate.
Aaron, I think everyone knows you're passionate.
I know.
But I think the big question here is, like, what do we do now that we've spent all this time trying to grow this thing together? And actually, we first launched, I would say our first appearance as Impact Reality was in November when we went to the Val event in Utah. That was our very first appearance. And we signed our very first client in December with Clique Games. They signed 3 titles with us: Rogue Ascent, Dragon Fist, and Monkey See, Monkey Doo Doo. So that was our very first foray into it. What we do now specifically, I would say, is we do PR and marketing for the VR industry. So not just games, but also any XR products, VR arcades. So we go all across the industry. And as Skiva said, our goal is very simple. We want to grow the VR industry. We've all gained a lot of knowledge, insight, things that we really love. That can help all these different, all the different people in the VR industry. So we're not gatekeeping here. We're trying to help everybody just grow the industry together. Yeah.
And, doing this together, we have the advantage here of being able to kind of, I don't want to say pick our clients, but we get to kind of cherry pick from the games that come to us that want help, because it doesn't help anyone to take things that will not benefit virtual reality. So we take the best of the best that we can find, and we help promote those things to then be able to grow the industry as a whole, right? So we are definitely, when you see something with an impact name on it, right, that we are doing the PR marketing for them, just kind of know, I feel like that it's going to come with a bit of quality. We're not going to take, Bob's VR game and just put our names behind it. We're really going to stand behind things that we believe in, so.
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not always, maybe it's like the biggest AAA title. I mean, there are a lot of times there's titles that we look at that we're like, this game is not there yet, but I think with our help, and if we can give them our best idea of what we think a great game can be, we can help them get to that point. So maybe even the games that we start with are not the games that we end up finishing with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. There are quite a few games that have come in, not quite a few, but there's some games that have come in that have improved greatly, just from, getting gamers' perspectives and people that have spent tens of thousands of hours in VR and in these games. So it's good. It's good to see some of these games be able to succeed and find their audience. And I'm stoked to help. So
yeah. Eva, did you see my message in Discord I just sent?
I did not. Let me check.
Will you take a look at that for me? And I'll Jasmine, while Skiva's taking a look at that and seeing if that's even possible. We have grown quite a bit since we started. Like you were saying that we signed our first client in December, which completely still blows my mind because there was a lot of legwork before that even happened. There was a lot. Like when you form a company, there's a lot you have to do to even get to that point. But yeah, it was December when we signed our first client to do what we do. But then we kind of like quickly, once we find that first client, it was like the floodgates opened up. It was crazy. And then we had to scale really quick, really fast. And we brought some really talented people in to join us.
We did. I am working on that request, Eric. I think that is more than possible.
Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the people that joined us. I think one of the first ones, Jazz, was was it Todd Jackson from my partner from Q2C VR Gamer joined us on a part-time basis. Was he one of the first?
I think it was Bran. Was it Bran? Bran, were you first?
No, to join us in our business.
Oh, in our business? I thought you were talking about the chat.
No. Yeah, I was just talking about the team that we built, of amazing people. Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I believe it was Todd. Yeah, Todd was first, and then Wes from PSVR Without Parole, who's also in Virtual Strangers, who's here.
Nice.
And then, and then we also have Genghis on a part-time basis that works with us, if you know Genghis. And we also now have VR Central, Wise Director, as full-time. So yeah, our team's grown quite a bit. We also have a couple of people that aren't in the VR space that are also helping us. So there's quite a bit of people.
Yeah, I mean, we there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes of what we do, so it's just not possible for us to do them all. But it's really cool that we actually get to bring some new people in. Like we have an intern who's extremely talented in what he does, and it's cool to be able to bring him in. And he's interested in virtual reality, so it's cool to be able to bring somebody in who has different talents, but we kind of like trying to teach him, what happens in the virtual reality world and how we do these things. So that's really one of the coolest things that we've been able to do so far, and bringing people in, like have an intern like that we can kind of show the way a little bit. It seems kind of cool. Let's say hello to the chat a little bit because we haven't really said hi to anybody yet, and I think we should probably do that. And you're right, Jazz. Brand VR was the first one here.
No,
he's the first. He's the first one anywhere you are. He's always here. He's always there.
Brand's the best admin. Thank you, Brand.
And then Mr. Tasselhoff is here, and we should also say Mr. Tasselhoff has actually been helping us out quite a bit too, Jazz. So we neglected to mention him, but he has been actually a big part of helping us out in a couple of different things that we're doing.
You will see very soon exactly what he's been helping out with, and it's beautiful. Just wait.
Yeah, it's so cool. Jasmine and Tass and Wes have been working very closely on a project, something that we're going to be doing quite a bit, I think, now with Impact Reality. So, wait to see that. Yeah, we'll soon. Je ne sais quoi is here, and also Techno Glitch, Virtual Steve is here, Arcanian, Michelle B. Let's see who else do we have.
What up,
Arlen
everyone?
Kundert is here.
Reese the King.
Nice. What's up, Reese?
Hey, what's
Virtual
up?
Steve, Backsorn, getting things done.
Getting
Waffy's
things done.
Spatial Realities.
Yeah, Jay Bratt is here.
What's up, Jay? I see a little Alex VR. What's up?
What's up, my brother? Fourth Wall Breaker is here. I have to ask this question. I asked Skiva during the showcase. There was a development team that made a game on the showcase. I don't remember what the game was, but the development team was called Fourth Wall Breaker. And I'm like, you think that's the same person? Like Fourth Wall Breaker? I don't know.
Is that you? Is that you, Fourth Wall Breaker?
Are you a dev Fourth Wall Breaker that we didn't know about?
There's also Creeper Betty in here. Hi, Creeper Betty.
Hey,
Jammy
what's up, Creeper Betty?
Oh, hi, Jammy.
Kyle Reisenbeck from Upload VR is here.
Kyle, the man from Upload. What's up, dude? How are you?
You had a big day today, Kyle.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a minute. I have thoughts.
Bluebell is here. Hi, Bluebell.
Hey,
Michelle
Bluebell.
B.
What's up, Michelle? What's up, Bluebell?
VR Central is here.
Hey, what's up, Wise?
What's up, Wise?
I think, did we get through everybody? Je ne sais quoi. How could you forget?
Hey.
Samson? Oh my
I
gosh.
didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
Samson.
Mepper.
Samson, let me
Pepper
just
is
say
always
that
there.
that Samson has an awesome podcast called Let's Talk Oculus.
Mhm.
And they don't just talk about Oculus because, Oculus isn't really a thing anymore. But They talk about all kinds of good VR stuff. So if you are just looking for more podcasts to absorb, go check it out. Let's talk Oculus.
Totally.
Heck yeah. And I think they have a special guest this weekend, Skiba, for this weekend show.
Oh, do they? Who?
Can
we say?
Half of the normal team is not going to be there, and I think they have a special guest host. That would be. I think I can say this. If I'm saying it out of turn, I'll ask for apologies later. But Je ne sais quoi will be joining Samson this weekend.
What?
Yay! Congrats.
I'm supposed to say that. I'm in such big trouble. But
you were in such big trouble.
I think she said I could. I think she told me I could say that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I could have just. Nobody. You guys didn't hear anything.
Andy Talks is here. Obscure Nerd is here. We have a full list of people. And by the way, we only, I think, started announcing this morning. So thank you all so much for being here. It's just been a wild week. This podcast has been in the plans for about 2 months now. So this was not a spur of the moment thing, but it was a spur of the moment announcement.
Yeah, it is. And you know what? We talked a little bit about who we are and where we are now and where we're going. But Skiba, I think there's a video that some people have seen, but maybe not everybody, that kind of shows a lot about what we are and what we stand for. And I think now would probably be a good time to show it.
Yeah, absolutely. We, we just, so this is from when we went to CES and we threw a party, at CES, and I'm sure some of the people in this chat have seen this already, but we're going to show it anyway, because it's super rad and it was a good time.
I think there's a video that some people have seen, but maybe not everybody, that kind of shows a lot about what we are and what we stand for.
Why is that?
I think now
why do I hear
a good time to show
us? Oh, hold on. I know why. Lots of technical mumbo jumbo happening.
All right,
here.
where is Todd? I need to bring Todd in.
Yeah, I'm fired. I get fired from all the shows. I'm
usually calling for Todd's head and was saying, "Where's Skiba? Get Skiba in here." Alex, now I know what you've had to deal with all these years. You're such a saint, Alex, putting up with Skiba and his mistakes.
I'm just gonna roll this video. But you didn't want to have multiple of you on the show? I thought you would have loved that.
No. Jay Bratt says, I was there. You were there.
Oh, he was. He was. All right, let's check it out, y'all.
There was a lot of people there.
Let's check it out. So I think the moral of the story is here we know how to party.
That
Yes,
was
we do.
all juice. Very healthy
It was.
juice
It
derived
was celery
from
juice, to be
healthy
specific.
Juice, all right.
vegetables and fruits.
No, but
Oh my
we.
God.
One of the things we do is we do throw industry events too. So you know, if if you're someone out there looking to do something similar, we can throw cool things that make an impact. Hence our name. So
It's crazy. This video was from about half a year ago, and I haven't watched it in a couple of months now. Watching it back, it's insane because so many people in that video we have now worked with. For example, Reboot Imagine is in that video. We are now working with them. We also have, and there I saw Hubris. I didn't even realize they were at that party. I don't think I ever met them at that party. I met them at GDC, and now we're definitely working with them. It's just, what? How did we do this?
And just the amazing people that we've like really connected with, and like, you know, I saw Justin Weebs in there. He was standing there talking to Palmer Lucky, you know, and Jay Bratt, and like, you know, your co-host on VR and all that jazz was Adam Bombardi was in there, and like I don't know, there was so many people. I saw Jason Parks from Row 2 in there, the Hubris team, as you said, Jen from Behaptics, Alex VR, of course, leading the give us another round. He might have been a little drunk that night.
maybe.
But the cool thing about this event that happened, and the reason we put this together, of course, like, you know, we had a really good time, but the very next day when we walked around the floor at CES, anyone in the VR industry was talking about this, you know, this Impact Reality party we put together. And when I told them, oh, I'm one of the co-founders of Impact Reality, which just launched like 3 months ago, by the way, at that time, they told me, thank you so much for putting this party together. I have now made a new connection with this other company, and we're working towards doing something to like other VR company, and now they're doing something together. And this happens to me over and over and over again as I walk that floor the following day at the CES floor. And that's really what we're trying to do here. Like, we know so many people in the VR industry, and there's so many people that could benefit from maybe partnering together. Like, let's all work together to rise the, you know, all rising ships, all tides rise the ship.
We gotcha.
Rising tide raises all ships.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. See, we even finished each other's sentences, so it's great.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a good point too, because Skiva, I mean, that night, I mean, and it's kind of a side effect, but it is something that we enjoy doing, is putting people together. And I know of many people that made some type of arrangement or started a collaboration or did something together based off of that meeting at that party, or at least getting together and talking at that party.
Yeah, I mean, that's what these things spawn, right? Networking events are there to put people in the same room together that maybe wouldn't ever be in the same room together. Conversations happen, ideas happen, new partnerships form, cool games and things come out of it. So, you know, it's a big deal to do things like this at these events. We're not all together very often. So when we are, we got to kind of pull together the community and, you know, make VR better. So.
Yeah. And it just realized that, you know, Kyle Reisenbeck was there from Upload VR. And, you know, this wasn't just an Impact party too. This was a party that was, you know, we did a lot to put it on, but this was an Upload sponsored party as well. In conjunction with Between Realities and VR with Jasmine and Q2C VR Gamer, you know, and so there was a lot of people that put a lot of effort into that party, but it really paid off. I mean, Palmer Lucky was there. Lucky. He was like one of the first people there.
He was actually. Yeah. And what we heard was he flew directly from Japan and hadn't even gone to his hotel room and came straight to our party because he heard that he had to be there.
You gotta be there. And then the writer and director of Lawnmower Man was also there, which is pretty cool. That was a childhood dream of mine, to meet Brett Leonard. And because, man, Lawnmower Man just meant a whole lot to me as a kid. And it kind of pushed me in the direction that I took here with VR to, you know, just spawn my obsession, really. So
yeah, that was
really
a huge
cool.
one too. I mean, having Brett Leonard there was amazing. And it freaked us out. Skiba went and had to buy a copy of The Lawnmower Man, the movie, and have him sign it while we got there.
I have to mention this. Kyle said, "You're welcome. I brought Palmer." You absolutely did, Kyle. Thank you so much. That was so epic for all of us. Like everyone there was freaking out, and Kyle, you made that happen. So absolutely, round of applause for Kyle. Thank you so much.
Kyle brings the best dates. He does.
Yeah, absolutely.
You always need a Kyle at your party.
Yeah.
Or to sponsor your party.
Chat. She says, "Hey guys, you are also inspiring. Love the passion."
Oh,
thanks for putting up with me.
Heck yeah.
That's a hell of a passion on its own.
Wait, I don't know if I'm allowed to share this, but I'm going to say this anyway. When Steph found out that Eric was having another podcast, she said, "Another one?"
You did too. I'm like, you're live. Everybody can hear you.
Oops. Sorry. I don't know if I was supposed to share that, but I know too much about these guys now.
I told her, I was like, just consider this like a meeting. It's a business meeting.
We're just having a meeting, but like with all of the VR people.
Yeah. It's a live meeting with everybody.
Man, you know.
On our next meeting agenda.
Yes, next meeting agenda. We should. Oh wait, what are we going to talk about first? Are we going to just briefly chat about the upload showcase, or are we going to talk about the clients that were?
Let's do that because a lot of people are asking, and I know Kyle was here, and he was like, what did everybody think of the showcase, and he wants to hear, and I know there's people that are looking for me to like do my thing, right, and have my rant. This is not the platform for that. Number one, this is a different type of show. If you're looking for any of that, you'll find us on Q2C VR Gamer. I will say that I did get a chance to watch it with Jasmine and Skiva. We try and do these things together as a team because this is a lot of what we do is look at games and see who we may want to work with. And this was a great showcase for us to see some games that are going to be coming out, in the next year, or maybe even one that's going to come out next year. I will just say up front, if anybody was looking for me to get mad about this showcase, I think they're off base. During the showcase, I mean, there was a few times I was like, this is pretty good. I'm impressed. And I have to say, there wasn't many games where I was like, this doesn't belong in the showcase, or this wasn't good, or I thought the pacing was done well. Like, showcases are great, right? You have to have a good showcase. You have to have good games in a showcase. But how you present the showcase is a big deal too. And I'm sure Kyle and the team put a ton of time into this. And it was one of the problems I had with the previous showcase. It's pacing. It's not all about what you put in. It's how you put it in and how you present it. And the pacing, Jazz, Skiva, I thought was really, really good. The games were really good, but I thought the way it was presented was great.
It was really good, man. I really enjoyed it. And there were bangers in this showcase. There was some really good games that I am just personally stoked about. We keep and this is like, we just had the meta gaming showcase not very long ago, right? Just a couple weeks ago. We've had the announcement of the Quest 3, of the Apple showcase, of the Apple headset. We have this upload showcase. There's so much happening here. And even with all of this stuff happening, to come out swinging like this with such good games, like really good games here. I'm like really stoked. Even stuff I never even heard of. Like,
exactly.
I think that was the part that surprised me. I was like, there are so many games in here that I haven't heard of. I mean, we are at every single VR show. So for us to have not heard of a sizable amount of these games, I mean, Upload did a really good job either keeping things quiet on the lowdown or something, but that was pretty impressive. And there has, as Skiva said, there's been so much back to back to back in lately. 2023 is the year of XR, obviously. I mean, we all kind of had a feeling. We were like, at the beginning of this year, we were like, PSVR 2 is probably going to come out, and, maybe Apple's thing. But then we got hit by HTC also made a headset. Big Screen also made a headset. Meta was like, screw that. I'm also going to put out my Quest 3 now before Apple comes out with it. And then there was the Meta Gaming Showcase, the Upload Showcase. It's just been a wild year. And we're only halfway through the year, so if anyone's not as stoked as I am about the VR/XR industry, you should be, because this is insane.
Yeah, for real.
This is the most we've ever seen, back to back to back.
It is, and usually.
I have one more point.
Go for it.
One last point.
Go for it.
Okay, so now because of the Apple headset, everyone's posting about. All the mainstream media is posting about Apple stuff, and I think the last time I checked, MKBHD's video about the Apple headset has 15 million views or something. We're mainstream, I think, right?
It's as close as we have ever gotten, for sure. If we're not there, we're just underneath, I think, right, Skiva?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. People like my mom have been like, an Apple, this Apple VR headset? what is this all about? Like, this is my mother, like, what the heck? This is crazy. Apple put VR and AR and MR and all the R's into a place where now everyone is going to know about this. It's going to be in Apple stores. It's going to be all over the place. It's a big deal. Whether you buy this headset or not is completely irrelevant. The point here is that Apple is putting this in front of people's faces that had no idea this was even a thing. And eventually people are going to walk into that Apple store and they're going to put this headset on and they are going to lose their mind. They're going to have their worlds changed. They're going to see like a whole new world of spatial computing they had no idea existed, only in sci-fi movies. But it's here. And it's here now, and they can go out, they can leave the Apple store, and they can go buy a Quest if they want. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many options out there from lower end to, and affordable to high end, and, where only a few people can afford it, but it's here. And that's what mainstream adoption is. It's, we don't look at Ferrari and go, oh, that stinks because there's a Kia exists that's affordable, right? But there's a full spectrum of things happening here, and there's constantly games coming out. And the beautiful thing is we're only halfway to Christmas. Like, Christmas is when this stuff usually really pops off. So
That's
if this
so
is
true.
yeah, so if this is any indication of this year, then man, I don't know how much more of this I can take. I love it, man.
Well, I think we have. This is going to be it's going to be an odd year for us because we're going to have like the perfect storm because we are going to have new hardware that is going to blow us away. Like, we've already gotten the PlayStation VR 2, but we still have the Quest 3 coming. We have, the Apple coming next year, but we still have the feel of another headset coming. We still may have one other headset coming this year that we just haven't heard of yet. That's still possible. So we're going to have that perfect storm of a lot of games coming as well. So I think this fall we're going to see a ton of games, and I think this showcase was a good step towards seeing some of these games that we maybe either didn't hear of or haven't seen in a long time or hadn't seen a real good trailer of. But there was some really good stuff in here. So it's not just the hardware that has me excited. It's the games that have me excited. Like, I cannot wait to get my Quest 3 and then go play something like, Beat Saber or, some of my favorite games like What the Bat or Beat Saber. Some of these great games,
Okay.
Quest 3, What the Beat Saber and What the Bat. I mean, it's made for that headset's made for these amazing games like
no
Battle Bows.
Here, sir.
Like Battle Bows. That was one of the games in the showcase that lit me up. And I'm like, oh, Battle Bows. This looks amazing.
Oh my god. Okay.
You know what I wasn't expecting here was a title and an IP like Micro Machines. Like,
I was gonna say this.
So I loved the Micro Machine games all the way back since when did they start coming on to game consoles? I think it was the NES. And these games have always been super, super fun. And now you're going to be able to play a game like this in mixed reality mode where you're going to be able to put together courses through your house. Like, that is super sick. Cool. I had not even heard that this was going to be a thing, and I'm really, really stoked now for Micro Machines. Very cool.
I was going to say, yeah, Eric and Skiva, again, because we watched this together, those two were like, Micro Machines. Skiva is saying this right now. He's like, oh wow, yeah, that really blew my mind. He's so composed, but that was not what happened. I am dishing out all the secrets from these guys. They act all composed. That's not what happened. They're like, oh, I can't believe this. And then Eric said, and the car went into the toilet. What?
I thought it was great. I thought the mix in of the mixed reality stuff was super good. Like, you had this game and then the roller coaster game. What was the Roller Coaster Mania or something? What was that?
Yeah, Coaster Mania, I think is what it's called.
That had mixed reality.
Very cool.
It was super cool. I like seeing some of these things that are mixed reality because that we're going to see more of those as the Quest 3 comes. And we already have the Quest Pro to do it and the Pico. So it was nice to see some of these mixes in, some of these things mixed in.
It was.
How about like some of the scary games, Jazz, like Madison and like you're all for these, right?
I had to cover my eyes. I had to cover my eyes. I was like, I hate all of this because it's so good and it's totally not for me. I was like, I love this for whoever loves horror and scary stuff. That was really impressive. There was definitely quite a lineup of scary games that made me want to throw up. So good job.
What was the game from the Blair Witch people? The people that did Blair Witch. There was another game in there I saw. I don't remember what the name of it was, but that looked pretty scary. The art style looked a little weird. It wasn't Madison. It was something else.
Yeah, I don't remember.
The art style looked a little weird on that one for me. I wasn't crazy about the art style. I think you said the same thing, Skiba, but the story kind of like really, it was supposed to be like a a horror, theme, but like they said like
A thriller
like
almost.
sci-fi or something, like it
Yeah.
had something to do with aliens or
yeah.
something. So that got me excited, but Madison looked really good. Like I was like, what is this game? And then they showed Madison, because they were showing, like, in that game, they were showing like the difference between like the different views. Like they would show it like like scanning down the view to show like the old view to what the new view would look like. So that game looked really good. How about Aspire 2 and the mixed reality stuff?
Oh my god, that looks so
That
cool.
looks so good.
It's like Metal Gear Solid in your house. What?
That looked so cool,
I can't
dude.
like if I show little kid Skiva that footage from that game, you'd be freaking out right now. I'm freaking out, and I'm big kid Skiva. Like being able to like
Very big
being able to like stealth take down people in your house, that is so sick. This stuff is just, it's really cool. And Aspire, say what you want about Aspire, it was okay. It was pretty cool. But the mixed reality implementation of this just looks really awesome. I can't wait to get it here with me immediately.
Now, exactly.
Right now.
Yeah, everybody's saying like the names of the game I'm trying to think of. It was either Genotype or Numat.
It was not
Numata.
Genotype.
Yeah, it might have been Numata. I don't remember the name of it. I apologize. If I saw like a trailer of it, I would remember it, or a video.
Yeah.
But
And
was it Inverse?
Yeah.
Maybe it was Inverse.
Oh, it might have been.
I think it was
Look,
Inverse.
I don't typically pay attention into the horror games, and it's not that they're not good games. It's just like VR is so immersive, and I don't really like being terrified. I mean, there are exceptions. I did go through Resident Evil 8 in its entirety in VR, and Resident Evil 7 and 4. But Resident Evil, I mean, there's just a quality bar there that's so high, and it's really, really hard not to want to play through those games. But the point being is these games are truly terrifying, scary. Like there's times when I play stuff like this that I have to take my headset off mid game and go pace around and let like my heart calm back down again, right? Because this stuff's terrifying, and I don't always want to feel that way. Sometimes I want to go in and feel thrilled or excited or like like whatever, but terrified, I don't know. So yeah.
There was a lot of these games though. Like we were talking about it during the there was a lot. Like people are saying them now in chat. Like Numata, Broken Spectre was another one that was a scary looking game. Genotype, that Case Files game looked kind of cool. Jasmine, the one that looked like a mystery where you're trying to solve something or go up against a killer.
Cool.
Trying to
That
outsmart a
one looked
killer.
that looked really neat. I don't like scary games, but it said something about outsmarting the criminal or something, and I was just like, "Ooh, I love a good challenge. I would love to outsmart this criminal." I was like, even if I have to be scared in the process, I might. I don't know. We'll see. Still,
being a detective is cool in VR, right? And one of the games out there that I personally think the best detective game out there is LA Noire, the VR Case Files, and it's so old now, people don't even really remember it even existed, but like the whole detective thing is just such a cool thing to do, right? In an immersive environment like that. So that could be really cool. That could be a really good game.
Oh,
Also,
Betty said Happy Funland. That was the one that looked like Five Nights at
that
Freddy's.
looks terrifying too.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, so much scary stuff.
Also, I was gonna say Final Fury.
Yes.
From the makers of Synth Riders, Final
Yes.
Fury.
Final Fury. How cool does that look?
That looks amazing. That really, to me, looks like Street Fighter in virtual reality. And we know that Cluj Interactive, the makers of Synth Riders, are really good at VR. They've been around for a long time. They know VR mechanics. They know the aesthetics. Like, I think these guys are going to knock this out of the park. This game looks really, really good, and I cannot wait to get in there and kick both of your butts. So let's go.
Ooh, that sounds like a serious challenge that I would be up for. I would definitely hammer both of you guys, but I will say that
are always saying lies. Don't listen to anything they say.
I would say that a lot of
listen to me.
she could probably beat me in Quantaar for sure. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get that going. I would say that there's probably not a lot of people that know the name Cluj behind Synth Riders. Everybody knows the name Synth Riders, but maybe not everybody knows who Cluj is. But this is a huge departure for them because they did make Synth Riders. That's been their biggest game. It's one of the best rhythm games that you'll find out there. But this is a big departure for them, and for them to go from a rhythm game to a fighter is so freaking cool, man. I love when studios do this. They try and it would be easy for them to come out and do, Synth Riders 2. You know what I mean? Everybody probably buy it up and be great. But for them to like step out and do something different and try and change the landscape a little bit, I think is a big deal. And somebody like Kaluja behind it has me excited.
Yeah, I grew up with games like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken, stuff like that. But Mortal Kombat was really where it's at. So I have an appreciation for fighting games, the skill behind them. This is an ambitious title to go after because latency and all of these things that you don't really think of can affect who wins a fight in something like this. So props to them for tackling something like this. This is a genre that we really need, more titles in the VR landscape. And I can't wait to see what they do with this.
Yeah, I thought it was super cool. And this is one of the reasons I have a problem with beat games. Because at least Synth Riders is working their asses off to figure something out. And beat games just sits there and pukes out the same garbage over and over and over again.
Garbage.
People are always like, why do you hate Beat Saber?
Hey, no.
Okay, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, Beat Saber is rad. You're talking.
I couldn't help it. He took me over for a
right
minute.
right up here is a used to be ranked Beat Saber player that was number
Jasmine.
3 in the world or something, right? Jasmine used to crush it.
3%,
3%.
Players though.
Yes.
He was top 3%.
That's a big deal.
Look, Eric. Maybe if you were in the top performer, you would enjoy it more. But I get it. If you're not good at something, of course you're not gonna like it.
I
right?
could dominate at Beat Saber. I just don't choose to because it's boring.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever helps you sleep at night, man.
I know. But there was some other cool games, guys. Right? Throwback looked like Paperboy.
It did. That was pretty neat.
Was such a good one. I forgot. My memory is so terrible, but yeah.
I literally thought it was going to be Paperboy. If they came out and said Paperboy at the end with a title, I'd be like, I'm in. What is that? Is that really Paperboy? It looked just like Paperboy.
You know what I liked about that was that, yes, it was a throwback, reminds you of Paperboy, but it's so different, and that's what I'm looking for. What I want to see in the VR industry is things that are just so different from what is already happening, and I think that that one was definitely one of them.
Yeah, I think that's something that we all talked about in there. We're like, we applaud the teams that try and do something different, like trying to change the landscape, trying to do something special, not doing the same old, wave shooter or zombie game or, just something that we've seen a million times over. So when we see something that's different that we haven't seen before or that looks special, that's what kind of like gets our, interest peaked. We're like, wow, that looks pretty amazing. Maybe we want to be part of that in some way. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked for that. It looks really cool. There was I wish I could remember the name of it. There's a Paperboy game in VR already. It came out a long time ago, but it wasn't very good. This looks really, really cool. It somehow involves aliens and UFOs, which I'm a fan of, so that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm going to go and I'm going to throw another game out here because during this showcase, we saw probably my most anticipated game of this year, or at least up there close to the top, is Pixel Ripped 1978. Yes. And Pixel Ripped, this version now of Pixel Ripped, this part of the series, this is the third game, right, is published by Atari proper, right? I grew up with Atari. I am stoked about this because Atari 2600 was my absolute first video game console, right? So I feel like this game was like made for me, right? To be able to like go in yeah.
I don't care. Come get me.
But to be able to go into an Atari game, and actually they're using like legit Atari IPs. You're working in the Atari office. You're going into the Atari games. The Atari games are coming out at you. And this is by Arvory Entertainment, Anna Ribeiro's company. And they've nailed all of these games, just absolutely nailed them. And I think Pixel Ripped 1978 is going to be one of the best, and I'm absolutely super stoked for it.
Agreed.
Also, yours truly is part of it.
Truly is part of it.
And me.
No, I was the first yours truly.
Yeah, I think there might be cameos in there of quite a few people, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Get in there and go play it and beat it tomorrow. And
But I was first.
Yep. It does come out.
That's true.
It does come out tomorrow. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like it comes out tomorrow, and it comes out on PlayStation VR 2, on Quest 2, on Steam. So take your pick and play this game. I think it's going to be a really, really good time.
And come see Q2C VR Gamer, not this Thursday, but next Thursday for special guest Anna Ribeiro will join us live.
Heck yeah. Very cool.
She's
and
awesome.
It's so rad. You know, the whole company, everyone I've met from Arvory Entertainment is they're just stellar people. They're super passionate about what they do. They make great experiences. They know how mechanics work because they've been studying games since like the beginning of gaming. They're all hardcore gamers, and they really have a respect for retro gaming, and they bring it all into VR in very creative and awesome ways. So props to them.
Heck yeah, absolutely. Let's just do a couple of quick more, and then I want to kind of move on. But I do want to say there was a couple here that really got me excited. The Micro Machines, you said, throwback. Stride Fates. I have to admit, I've been like hard on Joyway because of the model of, you know, let's make 15 games but not finish any. I've been like, you know, a little hard on them. They make good games, but it just seems to me like they're always like 3/4 of the way through the game and they just never finish it. Stride Fates looks pretty damn good, man. I mean, it was, you know, a CGI trailer, I think. It didn't look like any gameplay, but if it's that looked more like Mirror's Edge to me finally than anything else they've done so far with Stride.
Yeah,
So,
they've been working on the Stride series since the dawn of time, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. If they can make that game and make it great, I'll get back in there and play it, and I'll shout it to the rooftops that it's great. But I need to see a finished product before I can do that.
Yeah, for sure.
We saw a new game mode there and a little bit talked about for Crossfire Sierra Squad. How excited, Jasmine, are you for Crossfire Sierra Squad? This is your type of game.
Yes.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yes, but if you're not excited for Crossfire Sierra Squad, you must be excited for. Is it The Burst or Burst?
The Burst.
The Burst.
The Burst.
Do you have the trailer for this one by any chance?
I do. I can put it on while we talk. I'm not going to play the audio because I don't want us to get copyright strikes. But yeah, I'll put it on.
If Jasmine said that we were like geeking out over Micro Machines, I think me and Skiva like freaked out when this trailer came on for The Burst. Right.
Yeah, we're like, what? And,
so cool.
It's one that we've never heard of either, which is pretty wild. This just came out of the blue, and right away, me and Eric's eyes were glued to this thing. So it looks really, really cool. It almost reminds me of Fract. If this had ended up being an InDreams game, I would have been like, oh yeah, makes sense. But looks really, really cool. The art style looks awesome. The locomotion looks cool. The gunplay,
so good.
Yeah.
The guns, I love the art style. Looks so cool. This really, like we were both saying in here, like this could be Fract too. That's the way it kind of looked. Has that look, feel to it. Betty says in chat, what about Dungeon Full Dive? Do you think it'll be like Zenith? Jazz, is this something you would be interested in? We talked about this while we were watching Jazz.
I was so excited about this one. I can't tell what the gameplay is yet for the Dungeon Full Dive, but I love a little bit of a tabletop game. I'm still obsessed with Team Heo and hoping that they come out with a new map soon. Don't worry, I'm hounding Paul Brady. So, but yeah, that one looks really cool. I hope it turns out well because that sounds nice to me. When the Burst trailer came out, Eric and Skiva absolutely were losing their minds. They're not lying here. I am the fact checker. Don't worry, I'll tell you what's up.
Oh yeah,
they're telling the truth
hold their feet to the fire.
But when I was watching it, I mean, it looks good. I don't know. It's just not my type of thing. I was like, really? This is? I mean, I guess I don't know. Maybe in my brain that brain connection that likes these things is just not there. So I was like, I guess, yeah, that's good. But that's the good thing is that the three of us, I mean, okay, well, let's say, yeah, kind of. The three of us have a pretty varied interest in the types of games and experiences that you can experience in VR. And so when we are taking on a client, what happens a lot of the time is, someone will be like, I don't know about this. And the other person's like, but come on, like, to see the vision here. And so it makes for a very well-rounded team.
Yeah, it does. And it's super important too, because what I like doesn't mean what Jazz likes, doesn't mean what Skiva likes, but we try and have an open mind with every title, even though some people think I don't. I mean, I try and have an open mind because I know there are titles that are not for me, that are for other people that we'll like. And just because maybe I don't like it doesn't mean it's not a good game. So same thing with Skiva and same thing with Jasmine. But if we can, if we all agree that we think it's a good game, just maybe not our game, that's when we really get excited and get behind something. And yeah, I think that's what we're going to get into now, is get into some of the games that we think are special games.
Made the pass.
that have made the path to get into. Before we do that, real quick, let's just give me a rating, real quick. You don't have to talk a lot about it. The showcase, 1 out of 10. What do you think, Jazz?
Oh, why me first?
Okay, Skiba, Skiba, go ahead. 1 out of 10. What's your showcase? What do you think?
I'll go with an 8 because, I'd give it higher, but, I feel like if it's going to be a 10, there would have to be bangers in there from like Rockstar Games and like some of the big AAA studios. So, but I mean, it was composed well. Everything was done well. The voiceovers were great. Maybe I'm in the minority, but I really enjoy Kyle's dad jokes. So I really enjoyed it.
That was a nice mix of the dad jokes.
Eric?
I would say I'm going to give it even a little bit higher than Skiba because I think it's a bounce back from upload. I've been very hard on upload for the last 2 or 3 showcases, and I'm really impressed with this one. This was done very, very well. I'll give it an 8.5 and say that I think they did really well. The pacing was done well. Somebody said the music was a little loud and couldn't hear some of the talking, but I didn't notice that when I was watching it with you guys. But yeah, I'm going to say 8.5.
I really like the giveaways that they did. I thought that was a nice way to give back to the community. So for that, I was gonna give this a 7, but because of that, I'll give it an 8. I was gonna give it a 7 because I did think there was a lot of different games out there. It was well produced and stuff, but there was a lot of shooters and there was a lot of scary stuff. And so from a selfish standpoint, I was like, which games here can I actually play? So I was gonna give it a 7. But
what about Tea House of Souls?
Tea House of Souls is cute. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Keep in mind,
super cute.
Keep in mind, everyone, that you can only put trailers in for games that are coming out, right? So if it's all shooters coming out, not really Upload's fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's not Meta's fault. It's just that's what people are making. So, I'm
gonna put this out here now to everyone watching. Someone make some like really solid, cozy. Come on, like I need an Animal Crossing in VR. Somebody here smart enough, right? Please,
oh my God.
Please.
People have tried Garden of the Sea. There's some attempts out there, but I think in order to get something like an Animal Crossing, we got to get a big company like Nintendo involved because that game takes a lot of effort. You got to put a lot into it, and I want to see all different kind of games come to VR. I want to see a full, well-rounded, catalog of everything. So every type of person that I know that, that likes different kinds of games can be into this tech as well. Because right now, if you're not into shooters and killing zombies, VR might not be for you. So, yeah. Bring it on.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah. Garden of the Sea. Jasmine, you have you have somebody from Garden of the Sea coming on your podcast coming up, don't you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
All of the sea. It's a different
All
sea that's happening.
Right. It's a different sea.
A different sea.
Different sea. Good call. Good call. All right, guys, let's get into let's get into some of the titles that we have kind of like brought into our folder. We want to just go through and just say these are the titles that we've worked with so far. And let's start with one I'll hand over to Skiba and let him talk about because we've spent more time in this game in the last 2 months or 3 months than any game that I can think of in a long, long time, and that would be Ghost of Tabor.
Yeah, I got to say that, like I mentioned earlier, that we get to kind of find games that we love, and we're in a position where we get to see a lot of things happening in this industry before it's released, right? So when we see a game that we feel like is going to be really special, we can go out there and we can kind of court them, right? And just hunt them down and be like, please let us work with you, right? And this was what happened with Ghost of Tabor. We saw something very, very special here back when it was pre-alpha. I knew this game was going to be something special and it was something I wanted to work with. So, it's not like we take the clients that we can get. We literally go out and try to find the games that are awesome and try to then spread them around to make VR better as a whole. And Ghost of Tabor is absolutely that. Is one of the most fun games, not even VR games. This is some of the most fun I've ever had in video gaming in my life. This game is so freaking good. I can't even handle it. And to be able to work with these guys, have meetings with them every week, kind of, give input on mechanics or, help them with their PR efforts and their community growth stuff has been nothing short of amazing because it is so much easier to do these things when you truly believe in the game that you're working with. So,
I mean, this game even got Jasmine in to play with this game, and it was probably one of the funniest videos I've ever watched.
I'm gonna say, like, despite me not being good at shooters slash not liking them, I actually really enjoy Ghost of Tabor, but mostly because I like hiding behind people. I love the social aspect. I love being able to sneak around. There's things I can do, and I really appreciate this. One of the coolest things with getting to work with like such amazing game developers too is when I'm out in the wild, in the VR wild, and people say, do you know Scott? You can talk to Scott. And I was like, yes, I do.
All the time.
It's so cool this is such a dream job for me, for anyone who didn't know. It's been my dream to work in the games industry, in the tech slash VR space. And now I get to do this with the best of the best games out there in the industry. Like literally a dream come true. I'm so happy.
Yeah, and I think that's the same way for all of us. I mean, it's a big deal that we get to work with behind the scenes with some of these games, and this was a big one that we got, and this is one that we are proud to work with and continue to work with. This is something that we this isn't just a launch title for us. This is something that we'll continue to work with and be a part of for a long time, and yeah, we're just really proud to be in it, and I do love the part of your video, Jasmine, when Betty's like, yeah, you just pump it's a shotgun. You have to pump it like you would in real life. And Jasmine's like I know how to do that in real life too.
It's not helpful.
yeah. Go watch Jasmine's video of like how to like being new in Tarkov. It was one of the funniest things.
So embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's for your laughing pleasure.
Yeah, absolutely. Go in there and laugh at it and be having fun. But literally, we could talk about. I'm not going to add anything to that because Jasmine and Skiva did extremely well, and I could probably talk about Ghost of Tabor all day long. But let's add another one that we just launched on June 1st, and that was Battle Talent. This was another amazing game that was very much like Blade and Sorcery, but had a different feel to it enough that we were like, this is going to be something special. We want to be a part of this. And I absolutely love this type of game, and it is sandboxy, but there's so much to do here, and the visuals look great. And then we have Steam and we have Quest on this, which is fantastic.
Yeah, there's something about grabbing a melee weapon, going through dungeons, and fighting your way through, like actually fighting, not waggling, right? Not like, there's a lot of games out there that have tried to do things like this that the mechanics aren't very good. This game has phenomenal mechanics. It has all of the makings of what a lot of people are really looking for in VR, like that immersion, really being able to feel like you're fighting, and that you are actually taking place in these battles. And this game just does a really, really good job in giving you that feeling.
Yeah, I don't even know how many people. I mean, we posted about it on our Twitter account like the past couple of days that this is a game we've worked on, but really we've worked on so many different like games, and we just don't. I don't know. We're just so busy, making sure that all the games that we work with are successful that we don't even have time. So this is surprise, get a behind the scenes look at some of the things that we've got to work with, and I believe that Battle Talent after the first since it's been out, is now in the top, like the number 3 best-selling game on Quest, which is insane. So we're very proud.
I mean, literally, I think it was only beat by the perennial Beat Saber, and what was the other game that was ahead of it? I think it was Blade and Sorcery.
Yeah.
It was the only other game that was ahead of it. So yeah. That's insane that it's done that well so fast, and I think people are really just now, even 2 weeks in, starting to get an idea that how great this game is and that they should be playing it. And Skiva, the whole idea, though, what I love about this game too is it's not just the melee part where you can hammer them with a sword, but then you can hammer them with the sword and juggle them up in the air and then shoot them in the face with a gun. There's so many different combos that you can do in here, and there's modding available, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a whole modding scene, just like Blade and Sorcery, where you can actually mod and do different things in here, which is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it has a full parkour system too, right? Where you can wall run, and you can use magic and spells, and really it's a super well-rounded game, and the mechanics feel really well. The graphics are really good. It just has all of those little pieces, I think, that make a game special, and it's doing well for a reason.
Yeah, and I think it will continue to as well. And Jazz, another brawler that I think maybe you got into a little bit more than Battle Talent. Maybe me and Skiba were a little bit heavier with Battle Talent, but you got into Quantaar big time.
I love Quantaar. And Brandon VR from chat was saying that they actually prefer Quantaar over Ghost of Tabor. Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Chat. I know. I mean, this was wow. So we met the team of Quantaar at, was it GDC that we met them?
Yeah,
It
I
was.
believe so.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was it was CES or it was
No,
GDC.
it was
Yeah,
GDC.
you're right.
Yeah,
Yep.
oh gosh, we were in this, it was so crowded at GDC and there was just so much like hustle and bustle. And we were like trying to crowd around their little laptop and like listen to the trailer and try to understand what this game was. And once we like, it was hard to understand because then, you know, several months back, it wasn't as like their trailer and their assets weren't as developed as they are now. And we were trying to understand, I was like, is this a good game? And then once we figured it out, we were like, holy crap, we need to take this title on ASAP. And this was just launched about a week ago, and it's just doing phenomenally. I mean, I don't think I can talk about numbers, but it's doing really well. And so if you haven't played in it, you should. If you play in it, you're probably going to play in it again. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, and there is no reason for you not to play this because you know why? It's free to play. You can literally go download this for absolutely $0.00, and you can have the only available Super Smash Bros. Like game available in virtual reality right now, and it's really, really cool. It feels good. It's just a cool game. I've really been digging it.
The heroes are great that they have. I mean, they have some very interesting characters that you can use in the game. That Jazz can talk a little bit about, maybe the gummy bear guy. But they have that, and then, you know, we can't talk about numbers, but we will say that they've already had to open up new servers. And when a multiplayer game has to open up multiple servers, you know it's doing well. Yeah, twice they've had to open up new servers. But yeah, some of the characters, Jazz, did you ever unlock? You were trying. Did you unlock the gummy bear?
I did, and I don't. I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say this. I'll just say it outright. I worked so hard to unlock the gummy bear, and you know, when we finally had our first match together, it was not a match. It was not.
No,
the gummy bear is really slow. I love dexterity type of characters like thief, anything super fast. That gummy bear is so big, and it has a, you know, like a what is it? A gingerbread man on his back, and then he has all this candy. He is just so sluggish. He's a little bit sluggish, and it's not really my character type. But there is soccer mode in this game, and it's super fun. And Brandon says he's undefeated. No, I am undefeated.
Wow. There's a lot of people that have been doing, besides the brawler part aspect of it, which is amazing, by the way. You can get in there and you can actually get in there with multiple people and brawl. But the mini games that you can do in there are super cool. They'll just hang out in the lobby and being in the social area is super cool.
Yeah, it's really good. You know, there's a lack of titles that are like this, but not in VR. I mean, but not in flat, right? Like Super Smash Bros is extremely successful, and this game does a lot of the things that Super Smash Bros does. But you can play and you can play up to like 4 players beating the crap out of each other at any given time. So it's multiplayer, it's fun. You can get in there with your friends, and you can kind of fight to see who's the best here. And it's free.
And it's
absolutely
free. Can't
free.
be free.
Can't
really
be
can't.
free.
You know what game is close to free? Not quite, but it's close to Shuttle Maze, and it's darn good game. This is one of my favorite games, and we quickly wanted to work with this developer because we saw that it was a game that wasn't being recognized for exactly how good it was, and it just needed little tweaks, right, Jazz? It needed a little bit of help here or there, and we tried to do that, and I think we definitely have gotten that game to where it's about to be, and they are about to announce some amazing things that are going to be coming to this game. Now is the time to get in and really check out Shuttle Maze if you haven't yet.
Yeah, you know, Jasmine was talking a little bit about how we need different kinds of games in VR, right? Like shooters are great, zombie games are great, but like we need different kinds of games. There is nothing out there like Shuttle Maze. This game is really cool. It's extremely unique. Yeah, so check this one out too for sure. That's a good one.
When me and Jazz were meeting about this game early on, and we were trying to figure out like one of the things we always try and figure out, what is the message of this game? What is this game trying to portray to people? And I think Jazz put it perfect where she said, this feels like a Saturday morning cartoon. And that was like, we ran with it from there. And that's what it felt like, right, Jazz?
Well, I said like a retro, like playing a retro arcade game and watching your favorite Saturday morning cartoon at the same time, because it does have a really beautiful animation cuts and like a great storyline, but at the same time the gameplay of it, it's very reminiscent of like 80s arcade, and like instead of playing it on an arcade machine, you're actually in it, and the controls are very unique. It's a great game, and it is definitely very underrated.
It is really good. It's a great game, one of my favorites. And then we've got 3 games that we worked with from one publishing company, and that was Rogue Ascent, Monkey Doo-Doo, and Dragon Fist VR, and all great games. I absolutely like. We each had our like own favorite, I think, in these 3. Like Rogue Ascent was my favorite. I'm a shooter. I'm a roguelite fan, so I like took to Rogue Ascent, and it was like kind of like my baby. I wanted to like be proud of that one and wanted to work hard on it. Jasmine jumped head first into Monkey See, Monkey Doo-Doo, and you
Which
did
is
an
weird
amazing
because I'm not a
job.
poop person.
Are you sure you're not a poop person? Because you did a lot of poop throwing in that game.
But I like how, like, the thing I like about Monkey See, Monkey Doo-Doo is just how playful it is and how lighthearted. And, you know, some people, like, for some weird reason, like being scared and whatever in VR or when they're their downtime, I just like to have fun. Like, I'm lighthearted. I just want to have a good time. Let's relax. I'm already scared and terrified during, you know, non-playtime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had Dragon Fist, which was pretty damn cool. Dragon Fist, and I think you even actually like this one for you're not a huge fighting fan, but I think that this was great. And Skiba, you love Dragon Fist too.
Man, this game is cool. This
Dragon
is
Fist as Genghis.
Oh yeah.
She loves Dragon
Well,
Fist.
well, Genghis does a lot of things with full body tracking, right? And this is one of the few games out there that supports full body tracking. So you can go in there, you can kick, punch, do all kinds of stuff. This is the closest thing to actual. So Quantaar was the closest thing that we have to Super Smash Bros. This is the closest thing to Mortal Kombat that we have. This is really cool. This will absolutely make you sweat. There is a lot of physicality in this game, which is a lot of, you know, people really like VR for that reason, right? You feel like you're the character. In this game, you got to get in there and you got to fight. And it's really, really good. And this game has a lot more in store for it too. That will be happening. That, you know, gets me personally excited. I don't think we're allowed to say it. I can't remember if they announced it. But okay.
I don't think so.
Cool.
But this game, it's intended to be very realistic in terms of the combat and how you actually move. Like, you're supposed to really do martial arts. And when I play this, I freak out and I just start going like this. I start flailing my arms. So
I want to see that one on the stream. You're just flailing around like crazy.
yeah.
Well, another game that we had a pleasure to work with is Sail. Now, I don't know if a lot of people have seen Sail, but this is as close to you're going to get to, you know, to Sea of Thieves in VR. And, you know, the
They're
developers
working on multiplayer.
Yes, that we can say.
Multiplayer.
Heck yeah. Sail, if you've ever seen Sail in VR, it's amazing. And it's going to have multiplayer, as Jasmine said. There's a lot coming to this game. And it's probably one of my most favorite games that we were able to bring in and work with, and we are so proud that they have so much more coming. Their team is working so hard on getting all these updates done. So in this game, you start off in your little pirate den, and you have this little tiny pirate ship, right? And you go out and you can go explore the seas. You can then like dock your ship at different islands. You go in, you find treasure, you battle other pirates, you take their stuff. And then if you want to keep that stuff, you got to get back on your boat. You got to bring it all the way back to your base. So it's almost raid based like a Ghosts of Tabor is, right? Where you got to go get the stuff and you got to make it back. And you can go out and you're out there. You can go further through the world and find bigger, better islands that have more treasure and more cool stuff. But then it might be a little harder to get it all the way back because you might be almost all the way back and another pirate ship shows up. And now you're having like a battle on the sea and they're trying to sink you, right? So then you get back, and as you collect these parts and these pieces, you can build your pirate ship into a bigger, more capable, faster, better maneuverability, to, you know, and build these wild giant pirate ships. The other really cool thing here about this game is it even has voice commands. So you can tell it to fire the cannons. You can say drop the anchor, like, and it's listening and it does these things, and it does them really well too. So as you're, you know, driving around your ship and you're calling out
like there's other pirates on the ship to do these things for you, like you're, the pirate captain or whatever.
AI. There's AI in this. You have AI cruise ships. The game is so ahead of its time. You don't even know.
It really
so you
is.
should know. You
It's
should
not
play
done.
this and find out.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not done. It's not just multiplayer. They have a myriad of things that they're working on that they're going to have ready for a new update. It's going to be coming very soon. So keep an eye out for sale. There's another title, Skiba, that you've been involved with for a long time that, it's not always brand new games that we're looking at to help. This is, we're looking at games maybe that were great and were maybe a little ahead of their time and just were a little bit forgotten, but they have a roadmap that is going to be amazing. And one of those games is Grapple Tournament. This is your baby. I'll let you talk about this one.
So I grew up in a time of Unreal Tournament was the game that got me hooked on multiplayer games the most. I played so much Unreal Tournament. It's insane. You wouldn't believe the amount of hours I put into this. Also, Quake 3 Arena was another game that really got me, and I played a lot. When I played Grapple Tournament for the first time, all the memories of both of those games came flooding back, and it had the same feel to me as some of these classic competitive first-person shooters, with the caveat that you actually get to swing around. So this is almost like Unreal Tournament meets like Spider-Man, right? Where you're slinging around with grappling hooks, you're swinging around, you're shooting people that are below you, that are above you. It's full 360-degree combat, and it feels so good. You get all the combos, you got multiple weapons, you can dual hand weapons to make different kinds of firing modes on your guns. You can carry multiple weapons at the same time, which means you aren't able to then to swing around, so you're slower on the ground, but you have twice the firepower. This game has such cool mechanics that I could spend days in this game, and I have gone into this game and just played for so long. It's absolutely ridiculous. This game is a hidden gem that if people you got to get in there and you got to try this game, because there is nothing else like it from this day and age, right? Unreal Tournament and Quake 3 Arena were probably the closest things. This game is absolutely phenomenal.
This game is better than most multiplayer games that are coming out now. Today.
Yeah.
This game is better.
It's like you got to go back.
Yeah.
And I wish we could tell you the amazing things that the team is working on, but I can't. I have an NDA, so I'm sorry. Just wait. Just trust us. Things are happening.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the hardest thing with us is and these are the reasons why we pick these titles to work with, right? We see the roadmap. We know what's coming. We know what's coming. We know what they're going to do. We're working with them to help them, make these decisions and figure out how they're going to do things. And there's so much coming with this game that we were like, we need to be a part of it. We need to bring this game back, and we need to see it on other platforms, and it's going to be amazing. And I probably can't say anymore because I don't want to say
shut
anymore.
up, Eric.
Just shut up.
Let's move on.
But guys, we don't always just help out games. We actually kind of help out products. We help out we'll help out companies that are in VR in a different way. And let's talk about Reboot Imagine, which is Skiba, tell us what Reboot Imagine does.
So we were talking earlier about how we're doing some things with VR arcades. VR arcades are very complicated because you need all kinds of compute power, you need all kinds of headsets, you need certain size play spaces, you need the public to be safe, and you need to give them the best experience possible. What Reboot Imagine brings to this space is so before I even say that, so I used to work helping VR arcades get going, right? And one of the things that I always had to explain, people would call me up and be like, okay, so I want to open a VR arcade. I have 6 quests and a laptop. Is that good? Are we good here? I'm like, oh my God.
Obviously.
So, and then we have to work with these people to really grasp and understand VR, frame rates, how if people can get sick in VR. This is the general public. Maybe they've never played VR before, and it's their job to give them the best possible experience. What Reboot Imagine has come up with here is a full system of a rack of high-end, super high-end gaming PCs that are all water-cooled, like 4090s, everything to the brim. You wheel this thing into your arcade, you plug it in, and you are good to go. You then have wireless HTC Vive Focus 3s or other headsets that are available that you pull off, and it wirelessly streams
Wireless.
like super high-end virtual reality experiences wirelessly to the headset. You can then do arena scale games. You can do all kinds of stuff with the highest possible graphic fidelity. This changes the game for VR arcades in a way that I haven't personally seen before, and I'm really excited about it because a lot of these arcades needs help, and if they can just buy this one thing and plug it in and give people the very best experience, then that's a big deal. They also give you support, right? They can log into the machine. They can help you with anything you need. There is so much that this offers. I'm just stoked about it. So.
Wes asked if we're giving one away. I wish this thing would be incredible. Can you imagine just having like arena scale wireless VR throughout your entire house without like that works like magic? That is exactly what you would get with this. Yeah.
It is, and let me
you would ever have.
We should make a streamer house. I vote streamer house.
I'm down. How about we have a reality TV? How about we have a reality TV show where we get all these virtual reality people together and they have to live in a house for 6 months?
Let's do it. I'm in.
Can I have my own bathroom at least?
Oh my god, Jasmine would. We'd have to see how many people Jasmine would kill before it's over.
Eric, you make me sound so bad. I am a sweetheart. Don't believe anything these guys say. They're just trying to.
So before we move,
to, like, take your throat out.
Oh, jeez, you guys. All right. So before we move on from Reboot, I got to tell you that if you're a Quest user, you know that wireless PC VR is a thing. You also probably know the pain that comes with trying to get wireless PC VR to work really good without compression, without lag. So Reboot is also working with the person who invented Oculus Air Link to optimize streaming from these systems to the Focus 3 and the other headsets that work with the system. So they're able to get performance from wireless PC VR streaming that no one else is able to get. So if you know someone that has a VR arcade, have them look into this. DM me, because this is legit game changer.
I'll just repeat what Skiva said. The person who made Oculus Air Link is working with Reboot. Do you understand?
Amanda Watson.
I want, like, Skiva just says things so like calm and smooth. He's like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, I need to make an exclamation point, bold face, italics, all this. Let me just throw all the grammar stuff in there. I am your grammar, Skiva.
Thank you.
No, it's a good point, because it's huge news. I mean, because doing wireless location-based VR is not common. And it's one of the biggest things that holds back location-based VR, is because you have to like usually rig up with wires, and it's kind of a pain, and it's friction. Like nobody wants friction. You want to just be able to jump in, throw a headset on, and run around in arena scale without having to worry about a wire or wearing a laptop on your back in a big, in a big backpack.
Well, backpack PCs are a thing, and that was the only way to get really good PC VR in an arena scale environment where you're using your legs to walk around and not the thumbsticks, right? So backpack PCs are heavy. They require batteries to be able to run high-end gaming PCs that are on your back. And you have all kinds of people that go in to play these things in location-based entertainment. You have very small people, little kids, that don't want to be carrying around a backpack PC. So being able to take better than backpack PC gaming performance and have it wirelessly stream to a headset is legit revolutionary. So we're stoked to be working with these guys.
To be clear, there's no backpack in this, is what we're saying. You don't have it. You just put on the headset and you run around, and you're free. You're free.
You're free.
You're free. Run around. And one of the other places that we're helping out actually is using one of these systems, Skiva, and that is a location-based VR arcade in Fresno, California, that we are going to help launch later this month. And that's the Broken Controller. They are going to be, they're a VR only, well, not just a VR only arcade, but they're mainly a VR only arcade. They do have a couple of flat games, but mainly VR only. They have a Phenomena system that's arena based. They have, I think, 6 different catwalk systems to
They
do
do.
battle arena.
Yep.
And they are using the Reboot Imagine XR1.
They are.
Isn't that crazy that, our company is nearing, it's like nearing a year, right? And, a lot of the companies that we work with are games, of course, and Reboot's the first one that wasn't a game. It's a hardware product. And now we're launching a VR arcade. So I don't know. I just get so giddy when I think about the things that we do. But yeah, we're launching a VR arcade. Isn't that wild? In California. It's going to be so cool. And it's happening towards the end of this year.
That is. And they have, Eric was saying
the product.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is really cool. And like Eric was saying, it's not just VR. They even have an augmented reality rock climbing wall where you have to climb up this thing and like bash meteors that are coming to destroy the city below you, and like just all kinds of wild things. As you're climbing this wall, you're actually interacting with augmented reality that requires no glasses. It's all projector based on, put right onto the rock wall. So they're doing really, really cool things. And I have a special place in my heart for location-based entertainment. And, after COVID, LBEs and location-based virtual reality kind of started to go down the tubes because no one was able to be open. People started getting, more concerned with sharing headsets and things like that. So it's good to see these places coming back and to help arcades as well.
Yeah, 100%. In one of the greatest thing about arcades is multiplayer, because you can do a VR arcade, you can do multiplayer, and one of the best games that we have coming out, and actually it's going to be like relaunching this week, Jasmine, and that is Rival Rides. It's a multiplayer,
it's a VR. It's a VR theme park. So if you ever want to go to a VR theme park, Rival Rides is it. And it's already been out. It's already been launched. But there's been such a big, massive update since we took this client a couple of months ago. We have worked very hard on like really nailing this game down. And there's still a very big roadmap, but it is called the Park Pinnacle Update. And there are so many different like competitions and things that are happening. So if you're not part of their Discord, make sure you join that, because literally there's so many things that I can't remember how many things, but we've worked really hard on this one. And it's just a really fun way to hang out with your friends and play mini games. Well, it's like different types of games with your friends too. So we talk about having a variety of games in VR, and this is definitely one that's a different genre of game.
Yeah, it is, and the whole theme park idea is awesome. There's four different attractions that you can do in here. Plus, you have an amazing lobby area where you can just go around and be silly and have fun with your friends while you're in there.
So I see this game really appealing to people that really like games like Mario Party. Mm-hmm. Right? Like really party-based games where you can go in with your friends that are lighthearted, that you don't have to like really go get under a lot of stress. Like sometimes you play Ghosts of Tabor, right? It's kind of stressful situations. You're about to lose your gear if people screw up. This is great. Like you hop in there and you just have fun, super lighthearted. You beat your friends, you talk some smack, and you do so in a fun and colorful environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they have some big stuff coming up. Like they have a couple of big giveaways that they're going to be doing coming up with the relaunch of the title and this new what was the name of the update again, Jazz? It's the
Pinnacle Update.
Pinnacle Park Update.
Park Pinnacle Update.
It's a lot of P's.
Yeah,
but it's cool. Yeah, they're going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff, so keep an eye out for Rival Ride stuff. It's a lot of fun. And again, this is one of those titles that we were like we could see the finish line with this title. It just needed some help to get there, and they have so much more that they're working on. Another team that is really passionate about making this game the best game it can possibly be, and those are the ones we love to work with.
Yeah, and I see Techno Glitch in the chat right here saying this needs Yaw 2 support. That's a really, really good idea.
Sick.
Can you imagine this with the Yaw 2?
Wow.
Good idea, dude.
There's some people here that might not know what the Yaw 2 is, so maybe give a quick explanation.
Yeah, so the Yaw 2 is a motion chair that can simulate, planes and cars and roller coasters and all of these things. It's the one of the only and probably the best motion simulator that you can get for consumers.
Yeah, and it's not cheap, but for consumer use, it's closest thing to affordable that you will find, and it's done really well. And man, we should definitely bring this up in the next meeting. If they
Yeah, I
do need
think
this.
so.
I mean,
Thank
it
you,
is like
Psycho
made
Witch.
for this. Yeah, really, it's like made for it.
Yeah, it is. It is for sure.
Yeah. And I was just saying, other games that we like to work with, where we can see that they're really working on a game to want to make it perfect. And here's another one that will make you sweat, and it's going to make me sweat this Friday because I'm leading one of the workouts this Friday, and that is VR Workout. This is an amazing game where you can actually get in, and there are other games or apps that we have in VR that allow you to do some type of workout. This is the closest one, Jasmine, I think, is a real workout. Like, you're actually physically doing, you're not just punching, you're not just like, doing like a motion like in Beat Saber, or just kind of like even Synth Rider. Some people use that for. This is a physical thing where you're doing burpees, you're doing like, it's all hand tracked. You're doing all kinds of physical exercise, squats and everything. This game will make you hurt.
And we actually are having a creator competition coming up with some very popular creators that you'll know. Can we say the names of people who are going to be? We can. I don't know if J-Brad's still in here, but J-Brad's going to be part of it. I'm going to be part of it. Basically, we're going to see, we're going to just work out in VR, and I'm so terrified and excited. I mean, I really need this push, and so it's exciting. Who are some other people that are going to be? I think Techman, Sean Cameron. We have some we'll see. We'll see who's going. Yeah.
I think there's 12 or 14 people, but it's myself and Jasmine and Alex VR is involved, and I think Todd's involved. Todd from Q2C VR Gamer, and Techman Jew, as you said, and is Otter doing it?
Otter.
Otter Worldly is going to be
Tigris is doing it as well.
Tigris,
we have a lot of people that are doing this stuff.
Justin Weebs is also going to be doing it, and this is, like I said, there's like 12 or 14. This is going to be amazing. We're going to have some huge creators come in. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's already trash talk going on in the channel. We have a channel where we're all kind of talking and getting ready for this thing. It's going to start soon, and it's going to run for like 6 weeks or 5 or 6 weeks. And man, there's some serious trash talk being. For the winner, the creator who wins, they get a Quest Pro. So this is serious. This is not like we're just doing this like to hang out. Like I'm going to win this freaking thing. I am going to dominate everybody, win it, and I will give this Quest Pro away to my community because I'm amazing.
That's some smack talk. I got to tell you guys, I have tried all kinds of VR workout stuff, from Supernatural to grinding Beat Saber to like everything that I've been able to find, because I want to know. I want to know, like, where am I going to find something that I really enjoy working out? This game, I've done VR gyms, like Kugo's VR Iron Gym. This game, VR workout, absolutely destroyed me. This is the most this is the most hardcore workout I think that there is in VR. And it's not like, it's not as gamified as something like as Supernatural, where you're playing like type of Beat Saber type of levels and things like that. This uses really cool hand tracking because you will be on the floor doing push-ups. You'll be doing all kinds of things. You cannot have controls in your hand, right? So this really utilizes hand tracking to the max, and puts you into really cool environments, including a mixed reality environment. So you can work out, you can still see your kids, you can not step on your dog, and you can get like a really, really good workout. And this will bring your heart rate up. Even if you don't want it to, you are going to sweat and you are going to lose weight and burn calories. And it's a workout.
And it's free. It's free. Do we say that? It's free. Yeah. It has there's a subscription service, obviously, if you want more features and stuff, but there's plenty in the free part of it. I have to tell this funny story. So we started doing community workouts every Friday morning for a VR workout, and I volunteered to do the first one. Oh gosh. It was
crazy, by the way.
It was last Friday. I just, I was like, I play this anyway. Like, sure, I'll lead the workout.
You and Wes, right? Did you and Wes? And Wes from Virtual Strangers went in.
Oh my gosh, yes, Wes joined. So he came and supported me in this VR workout that I was leading. And I don't know what I was thinking. I said it for I think 45 minutes, and I thought we would all start together, we would all end together, and it would just be that's it, we're done. but I wasn't expecting that people would come in throughout the 45-minute time frame. And so I thought I would be able to end after maybe 20 minutes as we started together and in 20 minutes. No, every time I was ready to stop, there were more and more people that kept coming into this workout. And so I wanted to make sure they got a good workout, and I was dying. And I remember that was on a Friday morning. So if you want to join these like workouts that we lead with them, just join their Discord, because that's where we put the events in. But I remember, so that was Friday morning, and then Monday morning when we had our Monday meeting with the team, Wes was like, today, he said, today is the first day that I can walk without hurting. And I was like, Wes, we cannot schedule another 45-minute workout session. That was so ridiculous. That was so painful.
I'm glad Wes is going to do it with me on Friday.
Oh, jeez.
Wes said he would do it.
I'll do it with you. I mean, it is painful. Yeah, I'll go with you.
I may die. If anybody wants to see me die, if anybody was like, man, I don't really like Mash. His rants are kind of stupid, and I don't really like him, and he hates Beat Saber, so I don't like him. You might actually see me die on Friday.
Oh, and I guess we forgot to mention that VR workout is a multiplayer. You can have up to 8 people in a workout together, and you can have someone that leads the workout, picks what different types of like workouts. So you can pick if you want to have squats or burpees or whatever. So I obviously don't ever have burpees or push-ups in my workout, thank goodness. So it's very customizable, which is really cool.
I can't wait. Can you tell?
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to join like about 29 minutes in, so that you have to start an entirely new workout all over again. And you can't. It'll be great.
Oh God, I'm going to cry already. Skiva, you got to come in and help me.
Oh man, this game is hardcore, man. Can we even call it a game? I mean, I guess it's a game, right?
VR, like, man, this is the way to do it.
This is hardcore.
You know what?
I might stick with Pistol Whip.
Does give you a workout in VR though, and it really is, and it's one of my favorites. And it was one of the things that early on that we were able to do because we have a fantastic relationship with Kluge, and that is we had a chance to help launch on the PlayStation VR 2 Synth Riders, guys, and I love Synth Riders as much as I don't like Beat Saber. I really love Beat Saber. Synth Riders that much, and it's just such a good game, and they're such a good team. When they messaged us and said, you know, would you guys be willing to help us? I was like, really? We couldn't jump at it fast enough.
Yeah, Synth Riders is amazing, and I personally, you know, you can't help but to hear people compare this to Beat Saber. I personally like this a little bit more for my types of my game style, but this is just a fun game. It's a workout a little bit, right? It's super fun. The music is really good. There's all different kinds of music for all different kinds of people, and it's just a really good game. It's colorful. It's everything that I would want in a rhythm game, and it was absolutely fantastic to work with these guys. There's some great people involved in this team, and was definitely stoked to help out.
Yeah, we were able to help them out on their PSVR 2 launch, which was very cool. And for anyone that's like joined halfway or whatever, the games that we've been talking about for the past hour or so, games / arcades / whatever, these are all clients that we've had / still have since we started about 8 months ago now, like launched 8 months ago. Isn't that insane? Isn't that an incredible list of, I mean, we're so lucky. It's amazing.
We really are. It's amazing what we've been able to do so far. I mean, I don't want to like, you know, toot our own horn, but I mean, it's been really good. I mean, we've really had a lot of people that we were able to work with that are just good people too. Like I love the games, they're great, but when you get to work with the amazing people that are behind the games, and you can see how passionate they are and hardworking they are behind the scenes, and how much how desperate some of them are to really get their games out there and to be able to help them do these things really makes me feel good. And we did get a chance to help another one that was The Last Worker. We got a chance to do a launch for The Last Worker. It was a quick one for us. It was one where we came kind of in at the last minute, but you know, I enjoyed it a lot. It was one of the games that was a surprise game for me because it's not a game that I would normally kind of get into, but I absolutely love this game. I ended up streaming it. I had a ball doing it.
Yeah, the storyline was really like, it was so dystopia, and it just it was a very interesting type of game. And I mean, Eric, I don't think it's like, I don't know, I don't feel like I was tooting my own horn. I was more like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I didn't.
This is not, you know, I just
I'm with you.
I can't believe it. It's crazy. It's so awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it can be said enough. I'm really, I don't, because like I literally, I mean, I tell you guys this all the time. I pinch myself all the time about like the situation I'm in. I did a talk at AWE not too long ago, and I got towards the end of the talk, And I'm like, if you would have told me a year ago today that this was the position I would be in, I would never have believed you. And like starting to talk about that, literally, you saw me at the end of that thing. I was like, don't ask me any more questions about it because I'll probably cry right in front of everybody. So yeah, what you're saying, I think all three of us feel it.
Yeah, we did all sacrifice a lot. And I think I've said it enough times. Like I was working in the tech industry and gosh, I quit the tech industry last year in about March, I believe, just before GDC. So, and I had no plans. I was making $300 a month on my content. I had like, what was I gonna do? You know, like there was nothing. I had nothing. All I knew was if I didn't do this, there would always be nothing. You know, I had to take the chance and figure it out. And then I remember 2 months that was at GDC, and I was talking to Eric and Skiva about it. And then 2 months later, when we went to AWE, Eric was like, "Guess what? I also just quit my job." And I was like, "What are you gonna do?" He was like, "I don't know, but you did it. So I also did it." And it was kind of like this domino effect. And the next thing we knew, Steve was like, I think I'm ready to go full time on Impact. And it's just been, you know, we really did take a lot of risks, and it's not been easy. It's been very stressful. You know, starting a company, especially in such a niche industry as VR, it's tough. But, you know, we do it because we just really care about the industry. We love everybody here, and we love, you know, there's something here that just obviously makes us want to just forget about everything else and just go for it.
Yeah, for real.
I'll be fair to say I don't know if there's three more passionate people about virtual reality or trying to push it forward. I mean, there's definitely others out there that probably we know are in our circle, but we are probably one of the most passionate people about trying to make a mark in the virtual reality industry and trying to help. I mean, that's a big part of what we do is we want to help. We want to make sure we want to make things are better, and that's why we're so passionate. That's why I get fired up sometimes about certain things, and so does Jazz and Skiva. We want to make a difference, and that's the biggest thing. And I think we're going to do that with our last game that we want to talk about real quick before we get out of here, and that is one that's super special. I think to all of us, this is a really, really big game. It is a game that I've known about for a long time, that I don't think got a proper due on the Steam launch, and it is about to launch, Jasmine and Skiva, on Quest 2 and PlayStation VR 2.
Are we allowed to say this? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
All right, cool. Go, keep going.
It's about to launch next week on the PlayStation VR 2, or this is next week, the 22nd, right? So,
yeah. Next week.
It's about to launch on the PSVR 2 and the Quest 2, and that is Hubris. Hubris is coming to both those platforms, and we have been behind them for a few months now, helping with this.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys, when this game first came out in the PC, it had some issues, but what it did have was some really good gameplay and absolutely gorgeous environments and graphics and a really cool story. And I got lost in this game like very few games, right? When you play all the games, it takes something really, really special to really suck you in. And man, I truly love Hubris. And now this game is getting a full remaster and a redesign on the PSVR 2. Not only does this now have facial haptics, adaptive triggers, advanced haptics in the controllers, dynamic foveated rendering with eye tracking, right? Like this game has now new and improved voice acting. It has,
which is fabulous.
Yeah, it has totally different reload mechanics, gun mechanics. Like they have gone in and they have listened to the feedback of the community, and they've really gone in and changed this to be the game that I think everyone wanted it to be originally. And this game is just so freaking good, man. It's so good. It's on the PSVR 2 is where you're really going to get the beauty of this game. But make no mistake that this game, even on the Quest 2, is the best looking game that you will see on the Quest 2. You aren't going to find graphics like this on almost any other title on the Quest. They have pushed this headset to the absolute max and really launched something special here, or well, it's about to launch, right? And this is it's just so good. And I cannot wait to play through this for like the third or the fourth time, right? Like I love this game.
Think about this too. Quest 2, fantastic. Just having this game on the Quest 2 is freaking magic. And I don't know how these guys did this.
Literally magic.
But this game on the PSVR 2 is going to be next level. Like, I cannot wait to try this on a PSVR 2 with the adaptive triggers, with the face haptics, with the OLED screens of the PlayStation VR 2. It's going to look so good, guys. I'm telling you.
Bluebell says better than PC VR. And I'm going to say, yeah.
It is.
Yep.
Especially the PlayStation VR 2 version, guys.
Yep.
It is so good. You're going to cry.
Yeah. I mean, the Quest 2 version might not be like as graphically pleasing as the PC VR because, you know, it is a cell phone chip after all, but you would never really know it when you see this game on the Quest 2. But when you play it on PC, when you play it on PSVR, you are going to get a better experience than even PC VR can give you.
You know, I think what's so great about this game is it's just like a lot of people have talked about this game and said how beautiful and how amazing it is. And I really commend the devs for putting in the effort and whatever black magic that they did in order to get this on the Quest and make it accessible. Yes, we love accessible games. So that's been really awesome. I really do wish that, you know, every single person in here could be in some of the meetings that we have, because when they told us, they were like, yes, we're working on PSVR 2 launch and also a Quest launch, and we were so giddy. We were like,
we were floored.
No, stop! the crowd is gonna go wild over this. Again, Eric and Skiva they're a little bit more animated right now, but gosh, I wish you all were a fly on the wall in our meetings. We lose our minds, and it's just so cool.
I would have swore when this game came out on PC. I think I even did say back then, there's no way they get this game to the Quest 2. I'm like, there's no way it'll ever, because people back then were like, I want to see this on Quest. And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know how you can do it. So when I actually tested at Gamescom last year, it was super quiet. I couldn't tell anybody, and I had to go into like the back room of their booth, and they actually showed me the first level of the Quest 2 version, and it flipped my lid. And then we all got a chance to check it out at the HTC booth at CES, and that blew us away. And that's kind of when we started our talks with Cyborn about, you know, how we can work together, because we wanted to be a part of this. This is how freaking amazing this is. Number one, again, an amazing team, awesome people. I love getting behind this. They're so passionate about this game, and they want this game to do so well. And I mean, to the point where we are still working with them, and they are still, like today, like a week from launch, making improvements to the game. Like the game is perfect the way it is, but like Wes found something the other day, and he's like, you know what? This would be really cool if you could actually put this in. And what did they do? They went and they put it in like in like an hour, like literally in an hour. They messaged back and yep, at West, that was a great idea. It's now implemented in the game. These are the things that developers do that endear them to people who, you know, who play their games. Like they're invested in this game. Like these are the ones that give you chills when you're like, holy crap, these guys love their game. They're gonna put as much as they can into this game. Flat to VR says, do you know if they're using application space warp on Quest 2? I don't know. That's an excellent question. I don't know the answer to that. But man, I would almost think they are, because like Skiba said, it's beautiful. I'm going to say right now, it's probably the best looking Quest 2 game that you'll see.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's really good. I mean, it's it's crazy because it's one of the best looking PC VR games. It's probably the best looking PSVR game and the best looking Quest 2 game. So
It's
I mean,
so good.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty wild. Pretty wild.
This was another one of those titles that we just loved, and we actively were like, we need to work with them. This is just such a good game. I don't know what they're doing, but we need to find a way to work with them. So we actively seek out games that we love. So
yeah, I went and sat down on their doorstep at their office, and I said, and I chained myself to the door, and I said, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until I get to work on this game.
True story. Fact check, yes.
Race the King says, are you all coming to Gamescom? And I think
Reese.
that's going to be a
Heck
yes,
yeah,
I
dude.
think, for most of us, and then maybe for one of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You'll see some people there.
Yeah. Yep. Impact Reality will be there, at least part of us, and then maybe all of us will have to see. We're kind of working through that right now, but we'll definitely see you there, Reese, and I'm looking forward to meeting you.
I'm coming to see you, Reese. It's the whole reason.
Can you believe it? We have finally reached the end of the list, but not for long, because we're obviously always talking to all the amazing games that are just in the works. And this has been a really whirlwind past.
I love when you start to finish my thoughts, because that's just where I was about to go. Is we have so much more in the pipeline that's about to happen. Like you know, we are blessed to be in these meetings. Like, we know things that are coming and possibilities that we have to work with more amazing teams and continue to work with the ones we're working with now. And this is the stuff that we're kind of bring you guys in the next, you know, coming months of this show. And this won't be every week. This will be every couple of weeks, or, you know, when we can get them in. But we'll have fun. We're gonna we'll talk about, you know, some topical stuff of what's going on. We'll talk about what's going on and you know, behind the scenes with what we're doing. And we're just gonna come in and have a fun for a couple hours every couple of weeks and do something different than anybody else, I think.
And we'll be bringing in some of the devs and some of the people that we're getting to work with in some of these studios and really deep diving into some of these games, because, you know, talking about these games for 5 minutes doesn't do them any justice. There's so much happening in a lot of these games, so much work that goes into them, the blood, sweat, and tears that people put into making experiences like this is absolutely nuts. So we're super happy to bring some people on with us as well, and to really kind of show you like a little bit of behind the scenes of how the industry works and how some of these studios work. So can't wait.
And what it's like to be a startup in the VR industry. It is wild and requires a lot of passion. And
as many smiles as we get almost as many tears sometimes, but it's all worth it in the end.
It's mostly Eric, if I'm going to be honest.
I mean, it's me crying, or it's me making people cry?
Both. He's making people cry and crying at the same time. It's a real skill.
I'm passionate. What do you say? I am passionate. To a fault. All right, guys, this was a lot of fun. We went way longer than we wanted to, as we wanted to go like an hour and a half, but it was super cool talking about all these games, talking about the showcase, and then just telling you a little bit about us and what we're doing and what we'll be doing for the show. So again, thank you, Jasmine and Eva, for being here.
We will see some of you in our workout on Friday. And also we have Tribe Wars happening Friday afternoons with Rival Ride. So there's lots of opportunities to play and hang out with us.
Yes, 100%. And this is what I mentioned real quick too before we go, because we didn't do it. That was my fault. We didn't mention in between. All that great footage that you saw from Reboot and you saw from the CES video, all done by another great team that we have been working with a lot. And that is the Grey Wolves. Tribe Grey Wolf and Jordy Grey Wolf have been doing all that amazing work with us. So that's another member of, you know, they don't work directly, you know, for us or anything, but they work with us. We use them a lot because they're so freaking talented and they're such amazing people. So thank you to Tribe and Jordy also for doing all that amazing stuff.
The VR industry is just filled with incredibly talented people and the nicest people. That's the most important part.
Yeah, you know, I think one of the reasons why that is, you know, if you want to go get rich, you don't go get rich in an industry that's just starting to grow its legs. You go somewhere else, right? So the people that are here working in VR are truly passionate people that love this tech so much and that want to see it get to where it deserves to be. So we are absolutely stoked to get to work with all these amazing studios, artists, content creators, and all of the people that are just really pushing this industry to the next level.
And if you know of any incredible games that are coming up that somehow we don't know, you know who to reach out to. Send them to us. We would love to help them. Hell
yeah. We want to help everybody. We're gonna bring virtual reality to mainstream one game at a time. That's what we're gonna do.
Yep. That's the goal. Yep. Make VR mainstream.
Or die trying.
Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it. We got to run. Jasmine's got stuff to do, and we got more meetings to do. So
it's my birthday this weekend. I got to go on vacation.
Happy birthday, Jasmine.
Happy birthday to Jasmine.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome
bye,
stuff going on. Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.